The poem which I'm going to explain you today is The Lake Isle of Innisfree. You might be wondering that what a big name. The lake you all know, isle short form of island of Innisfree. Innisfree, it is a very nice, peaceful place and that I'm of Ireland. And the poet W.B. Yeats, who himself is an Irish poet, it is his birthplace where he has spent most of his time as a child, and how he is missing that place badly, that will be described in this poem. So I'm going to explain you the Lake Isle of Innisfree. Listen carefully and don't leave the class because this poem is going to be very important and also difficult. So listen carefully. I'm going to explain you each and every line. Fine?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Shivangi, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, very good. So, screen visible, my dear children? Screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Now you can see here. All of a sudden, this Zoom app stopped working. So now once again, screen visible. I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay. Now listen carefully. I'm going to explain you each and every line because this poem is very, very nice, interesting also, and a bit difficult. Okay? The Lake Isle of Innisfree. First of all, I would like to tell you a little bit about William Butler Yeats. Now, who is he? You should know W.B. Yeats. He is basically known as W.B. Yeats. Okay, and why is he famous? Obviously, he is a very famous poet. He has written many poems, but this poem, specifically this poem, actually I don't want to give you a very wide explanation of this poem, but one thing I would like to tell you that this poem, when he started writing, it was a very long poem, but later on everybody asked him to make it short. So what did he do? He simply he has selected some important points from this poem, and thereafter this poem he wrote this poem. So William Butler Yeats, and Irish poet, as I have told you, dramatist also, prose writer also. Basically in 20th century, he was one of the pillar of 20th century literature. Okay, and a pillar of the Irish literary establishment. That was very, because people started knowing through him, people started knowing Irish literature also. He was born in Ireland and thereafter he shifted to in London. And that is why he always was quite nostalgic about his own country. Nostalgia, that means you actually are missing your country. So he was having that nostalgia, a feeling of pleasure mixed with sadness, because basically when you think about your happy times in the past, so that is known as nostalgia. So he was having that nostalgia for his own country where he had spent his time as a a child, and obviously that place was very, very beautiful. Innisfree is a place which is very, very beautiful. So he always missed that place. He always missed that place, and that is why he wrote this poem. Okay. Now, you can also say that this poem, The Lake Isle of Innisfree, is perhaps the best known poems of Yeats. Yes, because the way he explained everything, this green and watery landscape in is where the young Yeats spent time as a child, and that imagery remained strong in his memory forever. See, children, wherever you spent your childhood days, because when you are a child you are very much connected to that very place. No, for example, now you are staying in Patna. Maybe nowadays you might be having a dream that one day you will go to some other place, better place, bigger place, America, England, whatever, or maybe in India you would love to go to a place which is better than Patna. But still, the days you have spent here in Patna, your lovely childhood days, you will never ever forget it. And specifically, if this place is full of greenery, full of watery landscape, full of natural beauty, then I can bet you, you will never ever forget this. So this Innisfree, a place in Ireland where he spent most of his time as a child, it was in his image, strongly it was in his memory for a long time. And that's why he wrote this poem when he was in his early 20s, 21, 22, 23, whatever. And where did he write this poem? In the metropolitan city of London. Why? That is also one interesting story. First of all, he was homesick, struggling to get his name, okay, fame. Nobody was knowing him, working on his poetry. He has come to an unknown place for higher studies, okay, and very tender age. Early 20s is not a, very great age, but he says that he was simply the moving, roaming in London streets, okay, and then what happened one day, that John, basically you can say what happened because he started writing this poem. There was a jet of water in a shop window on the Strand in London that you will see in the last stanza. You will also find out, I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. Okay, so what happened? He saw and heard the water spot set up for drinks advertisement, and the tinkling sound reminded him of his Logis Innisfree. Okay, so that water, that jet of water reminded him of what? That place where he had spent his childhood, the Lake Isle of Innisfree, and it filled his mind with that nostalgia. Homesick, he became homesick. He wanted to go back to that place which was full of greenery, which was so nice. बहुत सुंदर जगह था बचपन में उसके. So see, in this three stanzas, you will find out that in the first stanza, the poet is describing physical location on Innisfree, where he will live alone when he will get rid of all these responsibilities. Although we know it is very difficult to go back to your place where you where you had spent your childhood, but still he had a dream. 20s May, he had a dream that one day he will maybe he will go back, leaving all the name, fame, everything. The वो जो culture है London का, वो metros का culture, he will leave everything, and in order to live a peaceful life, okay, he will go back to the place. So he is actually describing the physical location where he wanted to live alone in a self-made cabin, in a self-made place, hut, cabin, jo bhi hai. In the second stanza, you will see all the qualities of this new life are explained. The poet will explain you how he needs peace. Okay, the pace of the life will be slower, nature will take over, and he will be the happy person. Okay, nothing, no artificiality in his life, everything original, sub pure or original, koi artificial nahi, not even music. And the third stanza, actually he's standing in one of the street in London, and there amongst the crowds, he's longing for that idyllic island in his hometown, in his home country, which is Ireland. So now I'm going to explain you lines of the lake Islay of Innisfree, Isle of Innisfree. Okay, so listen carefully. This poem is actually a lyric, musical poem, and it is exploring the poet's longing, you know, desire for peace and tranquility. Tranquility is also peace, shanti, sukh, shanti, santosh of Innisfree, a place where he had spent a lot of time as a boy. Innisfree is actually the name of a place which is very quiet, and because of its peace, you know, the place is so peaceful that when he is in London and when he compares his childhood days with this, you know, metropolitan city where he's struggling every day, he really wanted to go back to this place. होता है ना, कभी कभी हम लाइफ में बहुत थक जाते हैं, परेशान हो जाते हैं. Just look at your parents, maybe they are struggling every day, so definitely they all want peace, happiness. You कहते हैं शांति चाहिए, सुख चाहिए. Nowadays we have enough shanti. I'm sick of this peace. I just want to go back to work. But yaad karo last year when this lockdown has started in the month of March and April, how happy most of the people were in the entire world, because after a long time they got family time, they got peace, they got. But thereafter the thing became got worse, and people have started having a lot of financial crunches, बहुत सारा problem शुरू हो गया. That's why we did not like this. Okay, लेकिन यही होता है. So as a child, when he was in London, he was struggling every moment, हर moment वो struggle कर रहा था, and so he wanted to go back to his childhood place. That place is not only filled with sweet memories, but also full of peace. Shanti thi us place mein, full of nature beauty. And so he decided to go back to that place. And so when he started writing the poem, he said, I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree. Okay, I'm fed up. I'm enough. बहुत हो गया. I'm tired of this, you know, struggle. I'm tired of this hustle and bustle. I'm tired of this life. So I will arise. So one day, simply he's saying, arise. Arise means stand up, get up. Who is I here? Obviously, our poet, William Butler Yeats. He says that, okay, I'm fed up, sick of this life. बहुत हंगामा है, बहुत tension है. So I just want to get up, pack my bags, and want to go to Innisfree. Okay? And then what I will do? अब वहां भी उसके बहुत सारे dreams है. And a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. Wattles क्या है? Twisted sticks of making fences. छोटे sticks नहीं होते, वो bamboos होंगे या जो भी. So what he will do? No, he will not go there and he will make an apartment or a villa, okay, or a house, very big house made of cement and nothing like that. Whereas क्या करेगा वो? He will reach there and he will build a small room for himself, very small place, not a big villa, not a big flat, not a big house for himself, but a small room for himself. And how? What material he will use? That also he has mentioned. Clay and small sticks which are used to make the walls of fences of cabin. जैसे गांव में घर बनते हैं. Okay, full of nature, सब nature की चीजें use करेगा. No artificial things he will use. So basically you can say a nice hut he will make. छोटा सा झोपड़ी टाइप का जैसे गांव वगैरह में होते हैं. So he will make there. So he decided that one day, all of a sudden, he will get up, he will go to Innisfree, leaving everything behind. There, he will not make a big house, but a small room with help of clay and wattles made. And not only that, 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and leave alone in the bee loud glade. Glade is what? Open space. Bee loud refers to the sound made by the buzzing of the bee. Onomatopoeia, bee loud, buzzing, humming. Okay. Now he's saying that he will go there He will make a small cabin, small hut for himself, and he will be happy. But definitely we need food to survive. Khana to chahiye bhai. So what he will do for that? He will need some food to eat also. So he will grow 9 rows of beans near his room, near his hut. 9 bean rows of, अब सिर्फ beans नहीं खाएगा. Obviously, he simply wanted to indicate, okay, that he will have a little, थोड़ा बहुत, little harvest, थोड़ा सा agriculture, थोड़ा सा खेती कहो, जो कहो, that also he will grow his own kitchen garden. He will grow his own food. He will grow his own vegetable. Okay. So what he will do, the moment he will reach there, he will start doing a little bit of harvest, agriculture. He will start doing little bit of it, and then he will grow his own food. Okay. And a hive for the honeybee. Also, he will get the honey from the honeybee hive. Okay. Honey means some sweet. Okay, he will not go to some artificial sweeteners. No, no sugar, nothing at all. Good for health also, and peaceful for mind also, hai na? Such a healthy lifestyle he wanted to lead there. A hive for the honeybee. And then he says that the open space, that the glade where he will build his room will be full of buzzing sound of the bees. And over there he will live all alone in the peace and tranquility. So he will not even need any artificial music. कोई artificial music भी उसे नहीं चाहिए. Nothing. No music, no drama, no TV, no iPad, no net internet, nothing. आज के ज़माने में अगर वो होता तो no internet, nothing. उस ज़माने में नहीं था. But he just wanted to lead a peaceful life in his hometown, in his country, which is full of natural beauty, where he has a lot of peace and tranquility. And what he will do, he will make a small cabin of clay and wattles. He will grow his own food, and he will take sweets from that nectar, you can say. He will get honey from honeybee, and he will enjoy the bee loud, that's natural music, and be happy. Wow, what a nice life. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the veils of the morning to where the cricket sings, their midnights all a glimmer, and a noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet swing. First of all, see the meaning. Veils, hungat, a piece of material worn by women to protect their faces. Then we have linnet, a small brown and gray bird, short beak. Glimmering means shining. Okay, so we all know cricket, एक insect होता है, not the cricket. Okay, an insect related to grasshoppers, short legs होते हैं. Now in this stanza, the poet is saying that when in Innisfree he will feel peaceful, and he says that the feeling of peace is felt slowly and gradually. Now all of a sudden you cannot feel peaceful. Very slowly you have to feel the peace, धीरे धीरे शांति और सुख. And then he is describing some examples. He is giving us how he would feel peaceful. कैसे उसे peace मिलेगा? How this peace will come dropping slow. Okay, कैसे? See, he says in the morning time when it is cloudy and the view is not very clear, then it appear as if the morning has worn a veil and has hidden itself. Looking at this scene will make him feel peaceful. So many things. First of all, he's saying that dropping from the veils of the morning to where the cricket sing, that in the morning when he will look outside, he will see that cloud has covered the sun, the morning, and it looks as a girl who is wearing a veil, who is trying to hide himself. So morning also appear like that, and that scene will make him peaceful, make him happy. Later on he says that when the male cricket insect will sing a song, oh, that tick tick cricket sings, that will also bring peace to his mind. Male cricket, matlab natural music. Have you ever been to a garden early in the morning Okay, if you had ever been to, अच्छा आप लोग अपने गांव तो जाते होंगे, और so there you will see early morning if you are taking a walk, there you will see that how different type of birds are singing, and that songs are looking so natural, better than the music, the rock, pop, jazz, the music which you are listening, because this is nature's music. So he says that when the cricket insect will sing a song, that sound will also bring peace to him. So this manner, the peace will come dropping slow, very slowly it will come to your mind, it will cover your mind. And then now he will, this peace will not stop, the peace will that this happiness will remain continue. And at midnight, when he will see the twinkling stars in the open sky, their midnights all a glimmer, twinkling stars, their shine will give him peace. Okay, so when he will look at the twinkling stars, then their midnights all a glimmer. What is glimmering? What is shining in the midnight? Obviously, the stars. And that twinkling of stars will give peace to his mind. And even in noon, dophar mein, a purple glow. What that means, that even in the afternoon, when the sunlight will give a purplish glow, it will also give him peace. Okay, so even in the noon, the purple, that purplish glow, एक glow होता है ना purplish, in those areas you will see, which is full of nature, mountains and lakes. So there is a purplish glow that will also give him happiness, peace. And evening, अब शाम में भी ऐसा नहीं है कि सुबह में मिलेगा, रात में मिलेगा, दोपहर में मिलेगा, तो शाम में कुछ नहीं. During the evening, and when he will see the linnet bird flying in the sky, then also he will be peaceful. Birds are coming back to their nest. You would have seen, it's very rare in a city like Patna, where we have the entire place is full of concrete jungle buildings. But if you had ever been to a place which is full of trees, there you will see this soon, that how linnets, यहाँ पे एक bird का उसने reference दिया है, but actually he meant to say that birds, when birds will, the entire sky will be filled with birds coming back to their nest, that will give him peace. So see how he's saying in this stanza that every moment, morning, noon, evening, night, these are the, so whenever, every moment, everything, all the natural, this will give him peaceful, it will bring peace to his mind. समझ रहे हो ना, समझ रहे हो ना कि how this peace will come dropping slow to him. First of all, from the veils of morning, when the cloud will cover the morning, okay, that will give him peace. Okay, because at that time the cricket is singing. Then in the midnight, when the stars are twinkling in the sky, that will give him peace. Noon, a purple glow, when during noon time, during afternoon, then the sunlight will give a purplish glow. And when in the evening, he will be able to see the linnet bird flying in the sky, then also he will be peaceful. So whenever he is there, slowly and happily, he will feel the peace and the tranquility. So in this manner, he is going to enjoy every bit of his stay in his own hometown, that is in Ireland, Innisfree. And now finally, अब यहाँ देखो, I told you that all of a sudden, क्या हुआ? What provoked him to write this poem? Actually, he was standing near a place in London where he heard this water, lapping water sound. अब सुनो. I will arise and go now. Once again, he's taking, in this stanza, the poet is also trying to say, once again, okay, बहुत हो गया. I'm fed up with the city life. Oh, and now he will stand up and go to Innisfree. Why? For always night and day, I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's gray, I hear it in the deep heart's core. Again, he's saying that once again he will get up and he will go to Innisfree, because all the time the sound of the lake waters striking the shore repeats in his mind. वो lake water का जो sound है, water lapping, that is echoing in his mind. And This sound attracts him towards the lake. Wherever he is, either standing on the roadway or on the gray colored pavements, he is able to listen the sound deep where hearts go. Hearts go here means the innermost part of the heart. He is able to hear this sound in the innermost part of this core. So basically, he is saying that the poet really feel the urgency to go to the lake Isle of Innisfree, because in the depth of his heart, he can hear the sound of the lake water hitting the shore. It is as if the lake is calling him. Innisfree lakes, because Innisfree is a place which is filled with lakes. Okay, and that lapping water is calling him, come on, come back to your hometown. And wherever he is going, he is able to listen that sound. Either he is in a crowded roads or he is on the pavements, gray colored pavements of the city. Where is he leaving? London. So this is indicating that he wants to escape from the artificial life of the city into a peaceful surrounding of nature. So he generally want to go there. He want to lead a peaceful life. He feels that everywhere is he going, this water, this striking water is actually calling me. Okay, every time he's wants to come here, and this water is calling him. So in this manner, he is talking about that place. Okay, and he wants to go back. He wants to go back to this place. He wants to feel relaxation. He wants to feel the peace. He wanted to feel the tranquility. Okay, and this is a poem that grows and deepens with every time you will read it. Why? Because we all are going to face this type of problem in our life. We all have to go, we all have to leave this our place one day. And definitely we were going to miss our days, specifically our childhood days. So then you will remember that how peaceful and happy you all were feeling when you were going there, when you where you spend your childhood. And specifically, my dear children, the place which is filled with natural beauty. So this the our poet, he has a request, an ardent desire to go back to his place and to lead a life of peace, happiness, tranquility, where he had spent his childhood days. He's sick of this crowded city. He's sick of his competitive life. He's sick of his artificial life. He's sick of his materialistic world. Okay, that's why he's not even he did not even want the artificial music. Even the food should be natural, music should be natural, this where he is going to make his cabin, that should be natural. Everything he wants natural in his life. No artificiality, neither in the terms of material nor in the terms of emotions. All pure, everything pure he wants in his life. Clear, children? Raise your hands if the poem is clear. Okay. Now look at the rhyming scheme of the poem. It's A, B, A, B. Innisfree made, B glade. Then second stanza, slow sings, glow wings. Third stanza, day shore, grey core. Clear? कोई problem नहीं? A, B, A, B. All three stanzas have A, B, A, B. Then we have alliteration. You all know alliteration, the repetition of sound in two or more closely placed words. Now, how many alliteration we have? Honey bee, hive, honey bee. H sound is repeated. Then we have lake, lapping low. Note it down, lake, lapping low. Then we have repetition. Repetition, I will arise and go now. I will arise and go now. Personification, kahan hai personification? Who will tell me in which line? Second stanza, I'm giving you a clue. What is personified? Look at that line. Okay, Ayush, you want to say? Write it in the chat box. Note down. Chalo, morning is personified. When he's saying that morning is covering her face with the help of a veil, and clouds are compared to veil, so that is metaphor. Okay. Personification. Morning is personified. Clear? Okay. So once again, the poet is remembering his past, his childhood days, when he used to live at a peaceful place in Ireland, in Innisfree, and he wants to go there, and that's why he's saying that he will live there all alone, where he will build a small cabin with clay and wattles. He would grow beans and get a honeybee hive for honey to survive. He is also describing the peaceful nature which is surrounding the lake. He says that the scene of the cloudy morning, shining stars, glowing sun, birds flying in the sky brings peace to his mind. He feels relaxed to hear the pleasant sound of the cricket sing song. And that's why the poet really, he says that it is his dire need to go back to Lake Isle of Innisfree. In his depth of the heart, he can hear the water lapping wherever he is going. Either he is standing on a roadway or a grape colored pavements of the city, London. Where is he living? So basically, he's indicating through this entire poem that he's fed up and sick of this city life, and he wants to go back, he wants to escape from this competitive world, from this artificial life, to a peaceful life of his Lake Isle of Innisfree, where the place is surrounded by nature and its beauty, and he will be able to lead a life of peace and tranquility. Okay, children, now I think the poem is clear.